Okay. Good afternoon, friends and fellow members of family. I am Tito Mercader, and this is my loving wife, Yena. Yena and I have been married for 44 years, and God has blessed us. Thank you. And God has blessed us with a wonderful daughter named Carissa.
Mayong hapon. Mayong hapon. I am Yena, Tito's co-traveler in this fantastic journey called Married Life.
We chose this title for our sharing love, marriage, and family. Meron pa bang forever? Because our answer to this question is a resounding yes. Yes. Love, marriage, and family are God's gifts, which are pang forever. And because of this conviction, we strive to nurture our marriage and family life. Our choices and priorities became clearer, and it helped us overcome the challenges and storms which are part of our life. Far from being a burden, our commitment to a lasting relationship has given us the freedom to express our love. We feel at peace that our marriage is a safe and restful haven amidst the stresses of life, in sickness and in health, for richer or for poorer, in good times and in bad, in joy and in sorrow, till death do us part.
Tito and I have served in the pastoral counseling ministry for the past 25 years. And this brief sharing is our little tribute to the couples and families who allowed us to be part of their lives. We marvel and praise God at how, despite their wounds and brokenness, they were able to forgive one another, to reconcile, and move on towards healing and better relationships. We are grateful to these valiant souls because they have inspired us in our own struggles. Even those whose marriages failed have inspired us too, because in their deep sorrow and desolation, they turned to God. In His love and mercy and compassion, they gained the strength to carry on with their life.
We also said yes to give this talk because of our advocacy for marriage and family. In these past years, we have noticed and felt concerned, ug nasayangan gyud mi, how couples easily decide to give up and end their relationship, and abandoning the ship in slight stormy weather. They lose hope. They forget to look beyond. That storms do die down, even if it's Yolanda in intensity. With help and effort, relationships can heal. I am reminded of a priest who was preparing a couple for their wedding. The couple asked the priest, "Father, will our marriage work?" The priest shook his head. "No," the priest answered. "Your marriage will not work. You have to work at your marriage." In a recent survey, it showed that almost 20% of young people aged 20 to 24 are now cohabiting or living in. Perhaps they're afraid that their love may not last long. Perhaps they're not ready for a lifelong commitment. Perhaps they are discouraged by what they have seen in the marriages of their elders. So, it is a clear challenge for us married couples to live in a way that the young will be inspired by us. Undeniably, marriage and family life is challenging, but in our experience, it has brought us great joy, fulfillment, beauty, and peace, and communion. Now let us Please allow us to share our own story. When I came home from studies abroad, I met Yena at a beach party of our neighborhood association. She was very friendly and welcoming. We easily and naturally connected to each other and had so many things to talk about. From that time on, it seemed we could not have enough of each other's company. Soon we became a case of love thy neighbor.
Time went so fast. After a year or so, it was like our lives had merged. It became clear to us that we were meant to share the future together. We waited, spent 2 more sweet years lovingly preparing for our marriage. Finally, the day came. The rites were simple and meaningful. We vowed to love each other, always and forever.
Our early years together was just like living our dream. We were so happy living on our own, setting up our new home, sharing our meals, traveling together, taking care of each other's needs, and also humoring each other.
But after some time, I caught myself saying, one doesn't really get to know a person, no matter how close you are, unless you live together. I caught myself asking, why can't he be more like me? Why does he leave his books all over the place and take so long reading the newspapers? Tito was so lovable, but I wondered, why do I now get so annoyed with such small things? And why do I easily get hurt when he raises his voice?
Unlike before, when we were so open with each other, I noticed that Yena would sometimes just keep quiet and refused to talk even when I asked her what was wrong. I would be so annoyed when she would repeatedly remind me of what I needed to do. I thought, unsa naman ni, mura man ni og kanang sa to?
Just like any couple, we had our small fights and arguments, but kept much of our thoughts and feelings to ourselves, so as not to rock the boat. We remained generally happy and close to each other, but as years passed, there was a growing heaviness in my heart, and some questions if Tito really still loved me like before. We did not have big fights, but the cold wars and unexpressed feelings were toxic for our relationship.
Luckily, on our 8th year, we were invited to attend a worldwide marriage encounter weekend for married couples. For us, it was an awakening, a life-giving experience. I realized that communication was so crucial for our marriage. It means life or death for our relationship. I needed to become a better listener in order to really understand others, especially Yena. Unlike me, by nature, Yena is a quiet and reflective person. I had to listen with my heart to her words, to her nonverbals, and to her silence, to what she is not able to say. By listening with my heart, I discovered and appreciated Yena more, her feelings and needs, her deep love for me. I also learned that love is not a feeling which comes and goes, but love is a decision, an act of the will. Because I commit to love Yena, I can show her my love even when I do not feel loving. Just like I go to work even when I don't feel like it. And this meant we can stay in love. So Yena and I realized that instead of hiding our negative feelings, it's better to fight when we need to. And the weekend, marriage encounter weekend, taught us how to fight in a positive way in order to resolve inevitable conflicts. I became more aware and accepting of my own weaknesses, like my being hot-tempered and impatient, and in turn, I became more compassionate and forgiving toward Yena, toward our daughter, and other people in my life.
Most importantly, we learned that for our marriage to be strong, we must make God the third party in our relationship. We had thought that marriage and how we live it is our personal choice. We didn't realize that our marriage as a vocation is our way to get to heaven. The Worldwide Marriage Encounter Weekend had a great impact on us. We discovered a new way of living and loving, which brought us peace and deep joy and a wonderful closeness to God.
Experiencing the healing effects of marriage encounter on our relationship, we decided to get actively involved in the community for our continued growth and to have an avenue for service. We immersed ourselves in the living cells. We gave talks to couples, parents, and young people. We joined groups for Bible sharing and Christian meditation. We learned to be pastoral counselors, and this has become one of our main apostolates. We experienced the power and the impact of two simple words: yes, Lord. An expression of surrender to the Lord, a decision to be His instrument of love. It's really true. As we serve the Lord, He blesses us abundantly.
Foremost among these gifts is the gift of family. We thought we would remain a childless couple, but God blessed us with a beautiful baby girl whom we named Carissa, which means little dear one.
Carissa, could you please stand up? Are you there still, please? Okay. Thank you, Dad. She is a joyful and loving person and a constant living reminder of God's love for us. Raising her, we have learned to stretch our patience and self-giving. She taught us that our most important qualification to be parents is our capacity to love. And to discipline is to teach with love and care for our children, guiding and showing them the way by our good example. So through our varied apostolates, we have picked up good values and practices which we have applied to our families, such as giving top priority to our family relationships. To this end, we hold family meetings where we share our joys and concerns. We help one another with our difficulties. When there are conflicts and hurts, we dialogue and face the issues. We even have to shout at each other. No. That's all right. Well, no? Okay. Before, I used to shout. We don't allow these to break our relationships. These family meetings are also occasions for prayer and sometimes for Bible sharing. And we also thank God that we are able to take care of and enjoy the presence of our aged parents who are living with us.
God is a wise and loving Father. He allows us to experience trials and to discover our strengths and weaknesses that we may learn from them. At some point in our journey, something very unexpected happened to us. At least, we did not expect it. I had become focused on being mother to Carissa, balancing it with duties in the office, at home, and the apostolate. Likewise, Tito was busy and was dealing with pressures at work. We did not notice it, but very slowly and steadily, we were drifting apart. We communicated still, but it became superficial and functional. We talked about our activities and other people, but not about ourselves. Sometimes we ended up arguing. We slept on the same bed, but we were like strangers. We went on from day to day. I felt scared and worried about our relationship. We were two very lonely and needy people with aching hearts. We had lost our way. Finally, one day I thought, if Tito had appointments with people every day, why not for me? So I asked him for an appointment. And he asked, what for? I said, for us, so that we can talk.
So we found a quiet place to talk without disturbance. Taking stock of our situation, we both admitted that our relationship was in bad shape, but not hopeless. We tried to dialogue, but it did not prosper. We were blaming each other and competing on who had more reason to be hurt. I felt left out and abandoned. Yena felt rejected and shut out of my life. We were in pain. Unable to reconcile, we asked help from people who were close to us, who knew us well. A couple, a sister, a priest counselor. I was helped to understand and accept myself and how I had contributed to the situation. So with Yena, gradually the coldness and tension between us began to ease up. We found comfort in the Eucharist and in praying for each other and for our marriage. We joined a marriage encounter, the worldwide marriage encounter again, for a refresher. We pursued our letter writing with a renewed resolve to reveal our thoughts and feelings to each other, to regain our intimacy.
With humility, we realized and accepted that we had taken ourselves and our relationship for granted. Becoming proud and complacent, we did not prioritize our marital relationship, as it was the cornerstone of our family relationships. We had neglected our most prized possession, our marriage. Even our lovemaking was no longer exciting, when it is actually the language of our bodies to express our love, care, and longing for union. We had to learn again to be tender, gentle, playful, to be attentive even when we are apart. We asked forgiveness from each other and tried our best to heal with God's grace. Forgiveness is a decision to love. Healing our emotions took a longer time, but eventually, after this episode, we found deeper joy in loving each other again.
Indeed, we will always need God's grace. We depend on His grace, and we must ask for His grace in order that we may persevere, that we may thrive and stay on course in our journey of life, love, marriage, and family for always and forever. So as we end, we shall share with you a handout, our family roadmap. This is not original. These are nuggets of wisdom we have received from retreats and recollections, from books we read, people we have met and have validated. And we have validated these with our own experience. We're sharing this with you that you may read it, use it, and pass it on. Please take a few moments to read it. Number 1, God chose us for each other, and our family is on a journey with God, which leads back to Him.
Number 2, our family has a mission to love one another, to live in faith and gratitude, and to share God's love to others.
Third, our family relationships are like gardens which must be tended daily with tender, loving care and prayer.
4, communication is the lifeblood of relationships and is enhanced by appreciation, affection, and affirmation with the eyes of faith.
Fifth, problems and failures are valuable for the lessons they teach us and the opportunities we discover.
6, persons and our relationships are always more important than any issue we are arguing about.
Seventh, through dialogue and attitudes of humility, acceptance and forgiveness, our conflicts and hurts become doorways to a deeper relationship.
8, our children are gifts entrusted to us by God. They will one day leave us as they follow their life's mission. So our role is to prepare them for their mission.
9, each person has been endowed by God with unique gifts which can be developed and shared to strengthen our country. 10,
Have fun, celebrate, and enjoy the journey.
So we now end our testimony with these words from our dear Pope Francis. One could say without exaggeration that the family is the driving force of the nation, of the world, and of history. Our personality develops in the family by growing with our mother and father, our brothers and sisters, breathing in the love and the warmth of the home. Thank you.
Daghang salamat. We love you all.
Such a powerful testimony. Let's give another round of applause to Tito and Tita Yena Mercader.